Blessed love royal family. Oh, we glorify the life giver and the keeper of life. I do pray that all is well with you and yours. You're definitely the Tiger's Temple Honorable Priest Isaac here. And we're going to have a wonderful sit down this evening. When were you born? What is the date of your birth date? That is what we're getting into. And as I have said before, royal family, anytime we do programs like this, where we come live or we premiere it, and we take the time to do your natal chart reading, even if it's just a quick run through, you should take the opportunity. So, as I said before, all you have to do is email me your birthday, the day, the year, and of course the time, and we will come live right here. Once we have the time to cover all the different, names that come to us, and I will give you your reading live and direct. Like for example, this evening we're going to do the reading for Tessa. She was born the 14th of June, 1999. Any one of you were born the 14th of June, 1999? And then we have Abdi, and he was born the 2nd of October. This is 2007. He was born 7 a.m. I didn't get any time for Tessa. And then you have No Crosses. No Crosses. I don't know if that's your real name, No Crosses. That's the 23rd of January, 1989. So we're going to go through all of that tonight and more. And as I said, even those of you watching the premiere, you can put your birthday in the chat. Put your birthday in the chat. And although we may not cover it tonight, we will go back. Even in the comments, you could put your birthday. When you were born, the day, the year, the time. And then we will revisit it. We will take it. We will come on the air when we do another program like this. And of course, depending on how many people we get, the more programs like this we do. But keep in mind, this is just a quick program as such. But remember, we prepare for you your own personal natal chart. Flip, be clear here. And of course, remember that the natal chart booklet itself, which is just the booklet, but it is what's inside of the booklet that is important. For those of you who do not know, this is an example of your ancient astronomy natal chart reading booklet. So when you order your natal chart booklet, it's going to look very similar to this. May not be exactly the same. The design might be a little different, but it's going to look similar. Your name will go right here. And then when you go into the booklet, as you can see, you have some information here on when you were born and exactly what's inside of the booklet itself. As you can see, it's a flip book. You will also get it as a PDF as well. And as I always explain to you, this is a precise birth chart reading, precise. So you know exactly where the sun was, not just, oh, it was in Pisces. That might be a guess. But we have the precise right ascension and declination, which is the latitude and the longitude. Plus, you will see where the moon is when you were born, plus every planet, Venus, Mercury. Again, not just a snapshot picture from the computer, but the precise coordinates, angles, everything. So you can use this academics and even go into the astrological world to prove exactly where you stand as it relates to your natal chart reading. And then remember, after that, you also will get what is known as the astronomical interpretation. So you can see we do all of that for you here. So also with where the planet, sun and moon, where they are on the day that you were born, you also get the interpretation of what they mean. Even at the back of your booklet, you also have the interpretation and the connection. You have the planets, the meaning, and the houses that they are connected to, because as you know, planets are connected directly to constellations. So we're going to be getting into that in a moment. When were you born? Let me know your birthday and you will see for yourself the precise location of planets, the precise location of the sun and moon in relation to the constellations when you were born. So it's no more guessing, no more I believe, no more none of that. It's going to be as clear as crystal before your face. So what we're going to do now, we're going to pull up the sky chart and we will be going through the heavens. And Tessa, you were born the 14th of June, 1999, Tessa. I'm going to show you exactly where the sun was, exactly where the moon was, exactly where every planet was, Tessa, when you were born. Abdi, you also, we will be doing that for you the 7th of October, very interesting day that you were born, 2007, a young man, eh? And then we have some young people that are well in tune with us, very thankful. And of course, the 23rd of July, 1989 is when No Crosses was born. Well, I'm happy you have no crosses. But of course, when we do the natal chart reading, we would prefer, your correct name because it's an official document. And let me remind you two family, we have a 50% off on the natal chart booklet that I just showed you. So when you contact me and let me know that I would like my natal chart reading, you will get the booklet at 50% off of its price. Now, we had that 50% off offer since the beginning of 2026. And this offer, the 50%, is coming to an end, I think on Tuesday. The first day of September is that last day that you can get the 50% off. In fact, that's the day it comes to an end, the 1st of September. So you should contact me at least before the 1st of September. Email me, priestisaachinstitute@gmail.com, and let me know, my brother, I need to get the natal chart booklet, 50% off. And remember, it's not just the natal chart alone. We also have, let me show this to you before we get into this here. We also have available for you the Ancient Astronomy course. The rudiments of ancient astronomy course. You know about the course. You hear me speak of it all the time. Some of you are actually on the course. Yes, congratulations to you. Some of you are not on the course. This is the time to be on the course. The Ancient Astronomy, Rudiments of Ancient Astronomy online course, very extensive. Everyone that has partaken of this course, everyone has said they didn't expect it was all of this. So much knowledge, information, and the graphics and entertaining, and my children love it, and so forth and so forth. Can you imagine that? I have a client who did the course. Listen to me. And they reordered the course for their son. They didn't say, come, sonny boy, let me show you what I have. They got a next course, the same thing, for their son. That's to show you how precise and how accurate and how good the course is. So remember, the course is only $99.99 right now. And that also is at 50%, and that will be coming to an end for the 1st of September. So I am encouraging you, your natal chart booklet plus your ancient astronomy course, both of them, 50% off for some time, coming to an end 1st of September. So what we're going to do before we go into the astronomical readings, have you put your birthday in the chatters yet? Or put it in the comment. As I said, even though this is a premiere, we will review these dates. We will look up the information and we will return maybe in the next few days. And those of you who are first in line, we will show you exactly where the planets and the sun and the moon were located when you were born and give you a little astronomical reading as well. But keep in mind, it cannot be as precise as when you get the booklet yourself, or when you have a one-on-one reasoning with us, where we do that online. Okay, I'm going to hold a minute so I can climb up the beanstalk and go higher up into the clouds. And what we're going to do, I'm going to premiere for you one chapter from the Ancient Astronomy course. What you're going to look at right now is one chapter of the Ancient Astronomy course. It's entitled Celestial Academics. And why this chapter is so important, it gives you a good understanding of the mathematics of the heavens, and we will be getting into that. So this is a good prep. Some of you are already on the course, so you know what you're going to see. Many of you, most of you are not on the course, and this is what you are missing. I am encouraging you to contact me, email me, and get enrolled in the Rudiments of Ancient Astronomy course for you and your family. Trust me, it will be the better off, I'm telling you, for your beta cell. Beta cell is Amharic for family. Holy Manuel Rastafari. A sidereal day is the time taken by the Earth to rotate on its axis relative to the stars. A sidereal day A sidereal day is the time taken by the Earth to rotate on its axis relative to the stars. A sidereal day is 23 hours, 56 minutes, 4.091 seconds. This means that each star will rise 3 minutes, 56 seconds later than it did previously. Like the islands, cities, and towns, every object in the sky has two numbers that fix its location called right ascension and declination, more generally referred to as the object's celestial coordinates. Declination is the celestial sphere's equivalent to latitude, and it is expressed in degrees, as is latitude. For declination, positive and negative refers to north and south, respectively. The celestial equator is 0 degrees declination, and the poles are 90 degrees, positive 90 degrees, and negative 90 degrees, north and south. Right ascension is the celestial equivalent to longitude. Betelgeuse, also referred to as Betelgeuse, is a red supergiant and one of the largest stars visible to the naked eye. It is also referred to as Alpha Orionis, marking the eastern or right shoulder of the constellation of Sahu, also called Orion. The celestial coordinates of Betelgeuse are right ascension, 5 hours, 55 minutes, 10 seconds. Declination, positive 7 degrees, 24 minutes, 26 seconds. On the other side of the celestial equator, you have the brightest star in the constellation of Sahu, its left foot, Rigel. Rigel, also called Beta Orionis, is a blue-white supergiant located about
870 light years away from
All right, Royal Family.
the
As I said, that is just a quick example. Yigita means, pardon me, for the little glitches there. And of course, that itself is not the aspect of the course, but just the internet connection where we are. So just forgive us for that. But we will return to another chapter of the course sometime during the program that I definitely would want to highlight to you. But I think we should go straight now into the observation now of the heavens, the observation of the stars, and exactly what we want to bring to the forefront here. Now, as I said, we are going to be utilizing, of course, the stellarium, which we utilize from time to time. Yes, you do have different apps, space apps that you can use, but for the time, this is our preferred. We even, in our course, we actually explain to our students how you utilize this software, and we will just give you a quick rundown as such. As you could see, we just put it on a full page. Let me make sure that everything here is well covered. Okay, good. We put it here on the full page, and you could actually perform certain activities here. First of all, you can see the landscape. So we would eliminate the landscape by pressing this here. Landscape is gone. We just made the sky a bit darker so we could clearly see where everything is. You can even see the Milky Way. And this is the time where I am at now and the date and everything. So what we are going to do, we're going to highlight the constellations by line. So there you go. So you can see the constellations by line. This is actually how the stars meet each other to create the different images. A person may not know the constellations by lines, so you also have the image, the Greek rendition, I like to call it, of the constellations. Okay, very good. Now, this to me is not too complicated, but I prefer to work with my constellations without the images. So I'm going to take out the images, and if needs be, I will guide you along as we go. So at this time where I am, I'm talking about 5 a.m. Ethiopia time, and we are talking about the 28th of August. We're talking about 2026, and you can see that the sun definitely is still strongly in Leo. What we have here, you have Jupiter right now is in Cancer, what is known as Kepler. I'm speaking of now as I'm speaking to you. So, for example, I don't know what astrology is telling you, but I'm telling you the sun is in Leo, Jupiter is in Kepler. In fact, look, you have Jupiter's exact coordinates here. And this is why accurate astronomy, ancient Ethiopian astronomy, is the real astronomy. And I will always explain to you that astrology, as you know it, the science of it, the human nature of it, is very important, very deep. But at the same time, because of the lack of the accurate aspect of it, we will always run into problems. So this is accuracy. Jupiter, right ascension, 9 hours. 9 hours, 1 minute and 57.0 seconds. And then declination, positive 17 degrees, 26 minutes, 57.6 seconds. So you have the exact coordinate of Jupiter, even before you get into what constellation it is, because even the concept of a constellation, that may be here or there. People may debate that, but the coordinates, just as you have coordinates on planet Earth, the Earth was not created with the coordinates. The earth was not created with longitude and latitude. Yeah? So don't say, oh, well, you are applying that to the sky. So we applied it to the earth. So we knew, so we could tell you where we were. It's the same thing here. It's a precise location that you are getting. Look, you can see Mars here. This is today. You can see Mars right here. You see the coordinates of Mars. And this is my point. When you do your natal chart reading, when you get your natal chart booklet, you get the exact location, just like this. Let's just say you were born today. In fact, somebody is being born right now. Someone is giving birth to someone as I'm speaking to you, not even someone. I'm sure there are thousands of people coming out of the womb now or soon from now or not too long ago. This is their natal chart reading here. This is the scientific position of the elements of the heavens, the celestial bodies at the time of their birth. Now you may say to yourself, well, I don't believe that Gemini means this and the sun is ruling over Leo. I don't follow that kind of stuff. Well, you don't have to follow anything, you know, but it's still good to know the position. For example, look at the moon here. It's in Aquarius. And again, you could get the precise location of the moon in relation to Aquarius. Right ascension, 22 hours, 27 minutes, 3.9 seconds. Declination, minus 13 degrees, 4 hours, 21.9 seconds. And you may be saying, so all of this stuff, is it important? Again, this is location. Just as you would tell someone you were born here, there, this hospital, this room, is the same thing. The heavens is rejoicing with you. The heavens is aligning with you, no matter who you are. Now, the next level to this is what it means. Some of us, we deny that, but believe me, that is the accurate level, the meaning, the interpretation thereof. Now, what we are going to do, Tessa, I really hope that you are watching, Tessa. We are going to be, we have some dates here. And again, family, if you want to get your natal chart reading, all you have to do is email us, give us the date. Well, first of all, if you in a realistic way, if you are serious about your natal chart reading, you will invest in yourself because that's what it is, an investment. We have a product here, we have a service here that we are positive is a high quality product. You're getting the standard of service, again, top quality, because I can compare it. First of all, the astrological readings are off. You know, astronomy doesn't have a heart for this stuff. So ancient astronomy is the only game in town, straight up. And the ancient astronomy, as I said, even the Ayurvedic astronomy is ancient astronomy. Eh? The Ethiopian calendar is ancient astronomy because they align with exactly what's happening in the heavens. And they align with meaning and substance, not just academics and the record books, but meaning and substance. What to eat, when to eat it, which organ connects with which planet and which constellation, that's reality. But when it's done with accurate astronomy, oh man, you definitely reach the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow there. So again, I would encourage you to invest in yourself and get your natal chart booklet. Remember, it's at 50%. And that means it's coming to an end on the 1st of September. The chart itself is $275. That is the full chart. You don't just order it and get it right away. It takes us at least 2 weeks to put together because it is a work from the heart, you know. Of course, everything is a work from the heart, but you see when someone gives me their date of birth, time, name, you may not realize this, but that's, I mean, you give that information all the time, but that's it. That's important information you give to people. And I'm going to take your date of birth. Listen to what I'm going to do. I'm going to take your date of birth, the time, year, and everything, and go through the heavens and scan the sky to see where every celestial moving body in the solar system was at the time of your birth, and then explain to you what it means. Not just off of my head, but in alignment with ancient astronomy. And something that I have studied, I wouldn't say perfected, but surely studied and have a good understanding of. Remember, I also associate with other astronomers and astrologers and so forth. So obviously I can balance and act this thing out. And that is why I can confidently say you're getting a quality product when you order your ancient astronomy natal chart booklet. So at $275, it is worth it. And right now it is at $137.50, $137.50 until the 1st of September. It has been at that price since even before the beginning of the year. So it is all coming to an end, as well as the astronomical course that is sealing up the 50% offer, everything on the 1st of September. So the astronomy course, which is only $99 right now. So it's going to be double that, really, its original price. And listen, even if you order the natal chart, or if you order or enroll yourself into the ancient astronomy course after the 50% is over, it doesn't make a difference. You're still spending good money for good value. I'm telling you, you're still getting more value for the money. That is positive. I'm telling you, the astronomy course and the natal chart reading. So what we're going to do, Tessa was born on the 14th day of June. So let's just highlight the day and the month and the year for us. So the 14th day of June, 1999. All right. So June is the 6th month. So we find ourselves on the 6th month, and we would look for the 14th day. I did not get a time from Tessa. I only have the day and the year and the month. So we look for the 5th day, the 14th day, pardon me, of June. And also we have the year 1999. So let us figure out the year 1999. And then we would observe exactly where everything is. Very good. Now, we are 1999, and we are going straight for the 14th day. And at least for now, we would not worry about the time. But you see, the time is very important, because what the time does, the time highlights the movement specifically of the moon and even Mercury, because you must understand, the moon is the swiftest of the heavenly bodies, meaning that it appears to move the fastest, going around the earth. And Mercury is the fastest moving planet. So in other words, both the moon and Mercury, but more so the moon, will be in a different position at the beginning of the day than it was at the end of the day. I mean, significant difference that you can literally observe from one constellation to another then, especially in the case of the moon. All right, so the sun. Tessa, when you were born, as you can see here, without a doubt, the sun was in the constellation of Taurus. Now, this time frame is usually given to Gemini, like in the zodiac world. This is the sign of Gemini. Now, believe it or not, when I do my natal chart reading, I don't really have too long on the zodiac sign. I just tell you where your constellation is in relation to sun, planets, moon, etc. And then I give you the meaning. So in other words, you may be saying, but I thought I was a Gemini. It doesn't mean you're not feeding off of the Gemini spirit in relation to the sun, but you cannot negate Taurus. Now, again, we would have proven this in the previous lengthy premiere we had when we were speaking about the Ethiopian New Year. How many of you watched that video? The Ethiopian New Year is aligned with the stars. And we showed you clearly how the degrees in which modern day astrology has fallen off in relation to the true alignment of astronomy is between 12 and 15 degrees. Now, that's a lot. That's almost halfway through, which also reflects, hear me good, which also reflects the stage where we are between the ages. I wonder if you understand me. This is maths we're dealing with here. I am showing you that the degrees wherein our understanding of zodiac time, we are off at least 12 degrees, between 12 and 15 degrees, we are off. Again, we took time to explain that in one of our previous videos. It was about 2 hours we took to go through the heavens like we're going through now, and showing you that if you gun-ho that because you were born on the 22nd or 23rd or 24th, I think, of December, you're Capricorn, you are wrong. Because that reading, again, is several hundred years old and has not kept up with the 1 degree every 72 years. So in 720 years, the sun would have moved 10 degrees. Just think about that. That gives you a different reading on the 21st of March, 720 years after. It's not going to be the exact same reading. 720 years after, it will be 10 degrees different. So in some cases, the sun may be in the constellation that you have held on to since the time you're born. But in other cases, the sun may be more related to the constellation upcoming or even the constellation prior. And again, family, I must say this is not a plug. This is reality. This is why we do the courses, the ancient astronomy course, even our homeschool program that has a lengthy astronomy program. I had some parents contact me telling me, I didn't know it was so much work. I knew it was good, but I didn't know it was so much. When you enroll into the homeschool program, which doesn't have any 50% off, by the way, but when you enroll your young little ones into our homeschool program, they come out with a wealth of knowledge when it comes to astronomy. The little children that we have schooled in astronomy, listening to me tonight, now, and those of you who have studied the ancient astronomy course, and you're listening to me now, you have a good understanding of what I'm saying, more so than those who have not. Little children, yeah? Because we're dealing with the celestial academics here. So when I'm talking about 15 degrees off or 12 degrees behind, and the sun move 1 degree every 72 days, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And this is why it is important for you to invest in yourself. So, Tessa, here we have the exact coordinates of where the sun was at the time of your birth. 5 hours, 27 minutes, 51.4 seconds, and positive, that's right ascension, declination, positive 23 degrees, 13 minutes and 51.3 seconds. That is you. And when you were born, just around the time of a new moon, and you can see the moon here settled with the sun as well. And then also you can see that Saturn was in the constellation of Aries. You have your coordinates for Saturn there. Jupiter, Tessa, I hope you're following me, Tessa. Jupiter was in the constellation of Pisces as well. And, you know, this is set in such a way that you can just, for yourself, you can type in, for example, let us say Mars, and then we press the button and it carries you to where Mars was. And you can see Mars was actually in the constellation of Virgo. That's an interesting place there, because what Mars is showing us there is that it's almost, unless it was in retrograde, it is actually coming out of Virgo as if someone giving birth. You can see even Venus itself was in the constellation of Kepler. Venus is in Cancer, or that is very clear to see. All right, so Tessa, what I'm going to do here, let's do a little celestial interpretation. So again, royal family, we showed you that at the time of Tessa's birth, when she was born, the sun was actually in the constellation of Taurus. I think we all saw that a moment ago. We will get back to that if you missed it. But where the sun was, the position of the sun at that time, I would agree that it was on its way out of Taurus, going into Gemini. It was already feeding off of Gemini energy. So don't believe that you are not a Gemini, Sister Tessa, as far as the energy of that gateway. And let me remind you again, because we went through this, to take all the spookism out of this stuff here. This is an accurate science that has implications, royal family. When the ancient people of Egypt would refer to the rising sun as Ra, and the midday sun as Heru, and the setting sun as Atum, it's for a reason. Because when the sun is rising, when the sun is setting, when the sun is at midday, it has different energy, different vibration, different frequency. That's why you pray at these hours. That's why you celebrate and have Naya Bingi at new moon and full moon. Eh? Yeah. So yes, you understand the power of the moon, but do you understand the power of Mars? Do you understand the power of Jupiter? Do you understand the power of Saturn? Some of us, we understand the power of the sun because it is so obvious. We see the flowers open in the morning and close in the night, and we see all of that. We see certain vegetation react to the full moon and new moon. We know that because our grandmother taught us that. But who taught us about the power of Venus? And when Venus is in Taurus, and when Venus is in Aquarius, it means something too. But because the knowledge may be just too high for us, some of us, we consider it spookism. But when the moon is full and the water level rises, that's not spookism. You understand? So we need to be a little more open, some of us, when it comes to this science. And this is why I'm telling you, there are those of us who would have done the research, those of us who would have invested in our own selves, traveled to make sure we get the right teachings. We would have taken courses. Now that we are here giving courses, even on planets and plants, to show you the connection of planets and, yes, plants. So, for example, the sun, let me show you how it works. The sun rules over the constellation of Leo. So when people that were born like around this time and the sun is in Leo, that's a power combination. When the sun or the planet, listen to me good, when the planet is in the constellation that basically it rules over. Constellation is like the seat, the constellation is like the throne, and the planet represents the ruler. I want you to get this good. So in all the different constellations within the zodiac belt, the 12 gates, because it's the gates that's important. The gates, each gate has its own energy, and which part of the gate, I mean, it's some deep stuff. It's just like the colors of the rainbow. Each color has a different energy. That's why it looks different. It's a different spectrum, something different going on in the red zone than in the purple zone. So something going on differently in Gemini zone than in Leo zone. We got to wake up and stop pretending as if we are afraid of higher levels of information. So the planets now, we all have all the planets, but we don't have all the constellations. Huh? Yeah. Because when you were born, each planet was somewhere. Mars was somewhere. Jupiter was somewhere. Pluto was somewhere. But it does not necessarily mean that when you were born, Leo was occupied. Maybe Leo was vacant. Maybe you had Mars and Jupiter in Taurus. Maybe you had Saturn in Libra. Maybe nothing was in Leo. Or maybe nothing was in Sagittarius. Maybe nothing was in Pisces. You comprehend. For a person to have something in every constellation, that's deep. That's almost impossible. Because remember, you have 11 bodies you're dealing with, 9 planets, the moon, and the sun. And you have 12 constellations. So one of these bodies would have to be in between 2 constellations and the other in a constellation a piece, which is very hard, as Venus and Mercury are very close to the sun, and it's hard for them to spread out into 3 constellations. I wonder if you understand what I'm saying. But again, when you study this, when you are a part of the university that deals with this, the conversation becomes much easier. So anyway, let's just stick to what we are dealing with now. So in the case of Tessa, and remember, family, when were you born? Let me know, even in the chat, even in the comments, put it. But you will get a quicker response from me if you email me your birthday and the time, and of course your name. And next time we do this program, just like I'm doing for Tessa, I will do for you. Once you email me quick enough, once you put your name and your birthday in the chat and in the comments, wherever, I will seek it out. I will make a list. I have a list, to be honest, already. And, we will show you, give you more information on exactly what was taking place when you were born. But again, obviously, it's better that you get your own personal natal chart reading. All right. So the sun rules over Leo. Now, the sun was not in Leo. Where was the sun when Tessa was born? The sun was in the constellation of Taurus. Now, before we go to that, what does the sun represent? What does it symbolize? According to this, it symbolizes ego, basic personality, consciousness, vitality, stamina. I can go more further and tell you that it also represents leadership and authority. In fact, the sun is very similar to Jupiter in its qualities and its characteristics. Follow me good. In its qualities and its characteristics, also its potential. This is why I'm highlighting that we all have the different planets. Each planet has its own characteristics, qualities, personality. Yeah. Constellations as well. That's why the ancients would tell you that a specific planet rules over a specific constellation. So whatever value, whatever characteristic the planet has, it will be the same thing that the constellation that it rules over has. So for example, Venus rules over Taurus, and Venus also rules over Libra. Are you with me? But that doesn't mean Venus is always in the constellation Taurus. Of course not. It doesn't mean that Venus is in the constellation of Libra all the time. Of course not. But When Venus is in Taurus, that's a power combination. When Venus is in Libra, that's a power combination. Many of us have these power combinations and we totally negate them. Talking about, I'm a Scorpio and I don't have no Taurus friends because we don't get along. Give me a break. Give me a break. Them is sci-fi, palm reading, weird vibes. Trust me, them is some weird business. That's not what we are on at all. You understand me? So Venus now, follow this. Venus's qualities are attraction, love, relationships, art, beauty, harmony. I have a sister, that represents all of that: attraction, beauty, relationship, art, the full works. Someone I knew before, and I did her natal chart, and almost everything she has is packed up in Taurus. Taurus is really Heteru. Taurus is Hathor, the ancient Kemetic goddess. That's why when you go through the natal chart booklet, you will see that we make the connection specifically with the planets and the ancient African outlook. As we showed you the other day, even the Orion constellation was referred to as Selassie. So when we use these words, all of this, Pluto and Gemini and Mercury and all of that stuff that we utilize, we're just promoting the Greek gods. We're just promoting gods, which is German, by the way. Yeah, we're not really promoting Bear. What's the name of Orion? Not Orion, it's Selassie. So we need to promote Selassie. That's the name of Orion. Before they named it Orion, you know who is Orion? You study the story of Orion. That's not the story of Sahu. It's two different stories. Yeah. So that's why you see, so Taurus is really Hathor, Heteru, the goddess of beauty in ancient Africa. That is why Heteru is connected to who? Venus. Now, we're not necessarily talking about Venus, but I'm just showing you that the qualities of Venus, which is attraction, love, relationship, art, beauty, harmony, is the same qualities that you find in Taurus, which is really Heteru. And we would have done several programs, especially on the Tiger's Nest, concerning Heteru, concerning Horus, which I would encourage you to check out. So now, the sun is in Taurus. Follow this. The sun is in Taurus. So what's the meaning of that? And this is what I'm trying to show you, family. When you get your natal booklet, natal chart booklet, for example, in this natal chart booklet, the sun was in Pisces. You understand? I just want to read this for you. Check this. The sun in Pisces. The sun is the most important object among the natal planets, because the sun and the moon are considered planets in that realm. Its sheer power and energy draws more of the qualities of its constellation out of it being the constellation. Do you know what that means? What the planet does, it literally connects with the constellation that it is in. And you as the human being, when you utilize the qualities of that same planet, because we all have each planet. You have Mars, you have Venus. That's why we all say we are Scorpio and Capricorn, because we all have the sun. Where was the sun? We have the moon too. Somehow we don't really concentrate on where the moon was when we were born and where Pluto was when we were born, especially since they have disqualified it. We just forget about that. Imagine that. We are some weird people. We're not interested in where Saturn was, but all of this is extremely important. And again, we have every planet, but we do not have every constellation. It's really, simple, Hello, easy. So the sun in the constellation of Pisces, the fishes, at the time of the birth of this natal child. This is only natural as it is the season of spring and the time of equinox, equal day and night. The qualities of the sun are, hear this now, the qualities of the sun are determination, leadership, ambition, and vitality. These qualities, obviously, when applied, will assist in extracting the characteristics of Pisces. Pisces is governed by two planets, Neptune and Jupiter. The qualities of Pisces are expansion, growth, optimism, abundance, progress, dreams, intuition, imagination, and vision. I want you to get what I'm doing here, because our natal chart booklet is also a teaching process. We're actually teaching you how to use this phrase. They say it's better you teach a man how to fish than to give him a fish. Well, since we're talking about Pisces, the fishes, yeah, we're teaching you how to fish in a sense, meaning that we're not just saying, well, the sun was here. This means, man, you're a mighty warrior. Oh yes, you need to take up your spear and don't let nobody control you. You need to set your course in life. Them is motivational speeches. So motivational speech here. I'm happy if you're motivated. But we ain't trying to pep you up. We're trying to show you the science, ancient astronomy. So the point is that the sun has certain qualities. Look at it here. The sun, determination, that's the quality of the sun. You have it. Leadership, ambition, vitality, and other things, stamina, and so forth and so forth. And hear this, but because the sun is, bam, locked into Pisces, when you personally now, as the natal child, utilizes the spirit and the qualities of the sun, which are determination. When you utilize leadership, because leadership don't mean taking a bunch of people and having them follow you. Leadership begins within yourself. When you utilize ambition and all of these qualities that come with the sun, which we all have, and then you concentrate on the qualities of Pisces, if the sun was there when you were born, then you would find it easier to extract these qualities, the potentials that Pisces has, which are expansion, growth, wealth, optimism, abundance, progress. Why? Because you would have utilized the characteristics you already have. We all have it. From the sun, determination, leadership. That's why you are encouraged. And that's why motivational speakers come to you and tell you, man, you can do better. Wake up early and write your values down, write your dreams down, write your goals down. Let's see your target for today. Let's see your target for tomorrow. You need to think bigger and bigger dreams and so forth. So fifth, you need to take classes, you need to take courses, you need to go and exercise, you need to go to the gym. All of that really represents your determination to be a better person. But the point is, when you utilize your determinational skills, your leadership skills, ambitional skills, especially when you have the knowledge and you're concentrating on the fact that the sun is in Pisces, you will definitely reap qualities of expansion, growth, abundance, progress. This is the science. Now, as I said, Tessa, your son was not in Pisces, your sun was in Taurus. But what did we say now? So now when you, Tessa, and this goes for anyone whose sun was in Taurus, but then again, some of you may believe, oh, I'm a Taurus, but the sun was not in Taurus. This is why you need an accurate natal chart reading. Again, you can do it different ways. You can even go on Stellarium, like you see me doing. That's why I show you how to do it, and punch in your date and look for yourself. It's up to you. Or you can put your birthday, your born day in the chat with your name. Well, your name will already be there. And you don't need to give me your exact name. You don't have to do that. Even those who are emailing me, which again, I will address the emails first. But those who are emailing me, you don't have to give me your exact name. Your name will already be in the email. It may not be your right, correct name. But when you order your natal chart booklet, this is where you need proper identification because it's a quality product you're getting, something that you can share, something you can have for generations to come. So Tessa, the sun was where? In Taurus. So the determination that you have in the sun, what they call ego, consciousness, vitality, stamina, when you utilize that, you are supposed to be able to pull the potential from your birth constellation. Taurus, that's where the sun was, at a very key point in Taurus too, just not too far from Pleiades, the seven sisters. So that means you can pull out the qualities of attraction. You can reap the qualities of love. You can reap the qualities of understanding relationships, art, beauty, and harmony. But hear this, Tessa. You should have already had all of this, you know. It's not something you have to work too hard at, family. This is the thing. Oh, the sun was in Taurus, so I got to use, Priest Isaac says I got to think hard now and use determination so I can bring out more love and use my leadership skills so I can bring out more harmony. No, hold on, take it easy. Let's not get overexcited. The fact that, if this is real science, which it is, the fact that the sun was in Taurus when you were born, you were supposed to some way, in some form, some fashion, Tessa, be a person of attraction. Whether you're a man or a woman, attraction is not just pretty looks. That's attraction too. But it's your confidence. You know, people want to be around you for one reason or the other. That's why love, relationships is also a very key part. And it's not by mistake that Taurus is very close to Gemini, which deals with intelligence and reasoning and communication. So the sun coming out of Taurus going into Gemini is a very, very powerful space. I mean, extremely powerful. Because again, Gemini feeds off of communication and intelligent reasoning. Gemini, because Gemini works with Mercury. You understand, Tessa? So again, Tessa, I'm just giving you a quick understanding. I'm not going to stay too long on that. I already kind of showed you where the other planets were during the time of your birth. I want to go to Abdi. Now, Abdi was born the 7th of October, 2007, interestingly. Abdi gave me his time of birth, which is 7 a.m. in the morning. So this is what we're going to do again, family. So let's return to the stellarium. And we're going to get the exact date. And we're going to get the exact time. Now, as Abdi said, 2007. All right, so Abdi should be, Abdi, you're about 19 years old, if I'm not mistaken. And no, you're 18. Yes, Abdi, you're 18, soon to be 19. So give thanks. We have the young generation with us as such. Yes, definitely give thanks. All right, so Abdi, here we go. We're going to highlight your birth. October would be the 10th month, although October really means eight. You know, Ak means eight, you know, but October is the 10th month here, interestingly. All right, so we're gonna highlight that the 10th month, the just give me a moment there. Let me get the time in order. 7 p.m., 7 a.m. itself. So the thing is, let me repeat this again. Why it's important to have a good understanding of the time. And for those of you who don't know, just ask mommy. The thing is that in this modern day time, it is like when I was born, the time was not on your birth certificate. I think it's a bit different today that you get the exact time when you were born. So a lot of people have a better understanding of the time of birth because, again, this is highlighted already on their paper. Okay, very good. All right, wonderful. So it just takes a little time to get this in order. Okay, so we are already here. And as I said, the 10th month, and it is the 7th day. So, Abdi, when you were born, the sun itself now was, let me just make sure here, S-U-N, and then you highlight and you find the sun and it carries you straight to the sun, those of you who are watching. All right. So Abdi, when you were born, obviously the sun was just coming over the horizon. All of that is some important stuff. And this is why the time is also key. So the sun was just coming over the horizon there at the time of your birth. And it was located in the constellation of Virgo. Now, again, I think, if I'm not mistaken, because I'm not a chief astrologer, but I believe that this is reckoned as the time of Libra. So maybe Abdi, you've been saying, "Oh, I'm a Libra all of the time." No, it doesn't negate that you may have some energy with Libra because Libra is the next constellation. But judging from where the sun is, and I know it would not have passed that halfway period through Virgo. This is very important. We highlighted this in a previous program when it comes to the 30 degree. Here you see it, the 30-degree space that each constellation has. I mean, the Most High really is perfect in his designing. That 30-degree space that each constellation has. The sun has to pass halfway through that 30-degree space. The sun has to have passed through at least 15 degrees for you to say in the zodiacal world that we are gone to the next stage of the next constellation. So, in other words, as you can see here, the sun has not passed over that threshold. So the sun has not gone into the zone where it starts to feed in any significant way from Libra. Now, I didn't want to break nobody's heart. So, Abdi, I'm sorry if you really were holding on to the fact that you were Libra. Ah, again, I'm not going to tell you you're not feeding off of Libra's energy at all. It may be 1%, 2%. In fact, the chances that you're feeding off of Libra's energy is only Leo um, would be feeding off of more energy than Libra. It's Virgo, Leo, and Libra right now when it comes to the sun, Abdi. Because the sun is just coming out of Leo. The sun is still closer to Leo than it is to Libra at the time of your birth. And the sun is in Virgo, although astrology will tell you that you are of the sign of Libra. I wonder if you're following what I'm saying, family. Because astrology is several hundred years, maybe 800, 900 years behind. That's why it's between 12 and 15 degrees off. Because the sun moves 1 degree every 72 years. So in 720 years, the sun done gone 10 degrees. So that means astrology is at least 700, 800, 900, maybe 1,000 years behind. And that is why we can have these sort of discussions which we've been having for years. astrology is incorrect. The whole world of astrology. I'm not afraid to say that. So everybody that deals with astrology, your information is wrong. Somebody just got to be bold. I know sometimes I come across, I know everybody don't like how I sound or he feels he's, I know, I get you. No, trust me. I'm the nicest person you could ever meet. But you just got to be bold. I said astrology wrong. You into astrology? Well, you have the wrong reading. It's wrong. It's not right. It's incorrect. Do something about it. All right. Yeah, do something about it. Get your natal chart reading from the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge, where you get the accurate. Now, look at this. I didn't create the software. This is an astronomical software anyone can use. This is highly accepted and recommended, precise. It's not just this software in general that has to do with astronomy, because it's just a universal understanding of what's taking place in the heavens. This has nothing to do with astrology. My point is, astrology is a club. It's like this sort of, it's almost like a religion. It's very dogmatic. You just cannot go against it, even if you bring the truth to show them, well, listen, man, you have a good art, but you just need to somewhat, balance it off. The moon, Abdi, the moon was in, the moon and Venus were in Leo as well as Saturn. So just to show you this, Abdi. Now, Abdi was born the 7th of October. In the astrological world, and I'm not trying to beat down anyone who may be following astrology or whatever. Maybe Abdi is not even into that. He just wanted to know, where the planets were. That's why he sent me his information. But I'm just showing you someone like Abdi could have been following, obviously he has an interest. So he may have believed or have been following this thing that he's a Libra because he was born sometime after, I guess, the 23rd, the 24th, the 25th of September. Those of you who were born the 25th of September, 26th and 27th of September in these days here, for sure, I can tell you, you are not a Libra. You're definitely Virgo, and you have more energy from Leo than Libra. That's not your fault, It's just that the Astro-guide is an Astro-guide. The horoscope is a horrible scope. That's just the truth. We are here to debunk all of that. Even if it's us alone doing it, well, we have no problem with that. People say that all the time. It's only him alone out here talking that stuff. You believe that? Nobody else says that. I appreciate that. I take that as a compliment, actually. Yeah. So, Brother Abdi, look at Leo. Your moon is in Leo. Saturn is in Leo. Venus is in Leo. Don't overlook Leo. You have a lot of energy coming out of Leo. And as I would have showed you before, family, what the chart does now, it shows you the qualities of the moon, the qualities of Saturn. Saturn's qualities are law and stability, foundation, discipline. That's what Saturn is all about. Saturn is about discipline. Saturn is about law. Saturn is like the Ma'at energy, the cannabis. We did a whole program on Saturn. Remember that the cannabis rules is ruled by Saturn. So the discipline that's in Saturn, you know what discipline is. Discipline is really having a routine and sticking to it. You say you're going to do something, that's it. That's the discipline. Discipline is not just keeping your shirt in your pants. Or discipline is 10 o'clock, I'm supposed to be here. 9 o'clock, I'm supposed to do that. these are the 5 things I need to take care of. And you do it. Discipline, law, structure, foundation, Saturn. Now, when you utilize that discipline, whatever the discipline is, the discipline could be how you eat. The discipline could be how you speak. But once you utilize discipline consciously, you are supposed to be able to extract, abdi, is you I'm talking to. You're supposed to be able to extract, pardon me, the qualities, the potential that are inside of Leo. And Leo, of course, is leadership, determination, to conquer. Leo is to conquer, progress. All of that is inside of Leo, which is the sun too. What that means, because Saturn is in Leo, you have the ability to extract more of the Leo energy. Because the moon is in Leo with its own qualities. The moon, if you utilize the qualities of the moon, which is emotion, the moon has a lot to do with your emotional qualities. So if you can control your emotional energies positively, conscious of the fact that your moon is in Leo at the time when you came out of your mother's womb, then again, with control of your emotional faculties, that will also help you with the discipline and the foundation and the structure of Saturn to pull the potentials from Leo. Consciousness, the confidence, the leadership, the authority. And then also you have Venus. Remember what Venus represents: art and beauty, love, harmony. So when you are aware of all of this, Abdi, you can concentrate on the power of Leo, which is extremely powerful. The Leo constellation. So all of the time you're saying, oh, well, I'm a Libra. But you're totally negating the fact that your sun is fully in Virgo. It's not even halfway through. Mercury is very close to Libra. But outside of Mercury, nothing really is in the zone of Libra. Jupiter, my brother Abdi, is in the zone of the serpent holder and Scorpio. Remember now, I know people say Ophiuchus, which is the serpent holder, is the 13th constellation, and I agree. Don't get me wrong. But you don't have to carve out a space for it. It's in the space of Scorpio. They're in the same celestial gateway. So when a planet is in Scorpio, a planet is in the serpent holder. That's the point. So Jupiter is in the serpent holder or Scorpio. And Jupiter is another powerhouse. So again, Abdi, what you should do, and I'm going to tell Tessa to do the same thing as well, order your natal chart booklet. That's the best thing for you to do. Get a precise reading. You obviously see we know exactly what we are talking about here. And Tessa, you need to give me your exact time. Go and ask mommy what time was I born, or somebody what time I came out. Even if it's in the morning, the afternoon, sometime after lunch, at least that will help. It's much better, so you get a better reading exactly in relationship specifically to the moon. So Abdi, Tessa, recontact me again, and you should order your natal chart booklet, keeping in mind that the 50%, again, Royal Family, we have a 50% off on the natal chart booklet. We have a 50% off on the Rudiments of Ancient Astronomy course. And also, we don't have no 50% off on this, but those of you who are interested in a one-on-one natal birth chart reading, you can get that as well. As I said, there's no 50% off on this, but the point is that it's available. So in other words, you can get your one-on-one natal birth chart reading with me. This will be done online, somewhat similar to what you're seeing here. In the same way, it will just be a bit more private, a bit more accurate. I won't be teaching you like how I'm teaching here, like I'm breaking down the academics, because with the one-on-one natal birth chart reading, you have a half an hour package. Trust me, that's enough time for me to carry you through, your celestial reading. Or you can get an hour package, which obviously is more than enough time for me to carry you through, to give you a little more explanation and to have a conversation with you. So you can get a one-on-one natal chart reading. If you were to ask me, I would think that getting your booklet is much better, but doing both of them is the best thing. So you can get your booklet and you can still have your one-on-one natal birth chart reading with myself. It will definitely help, for sure. We have family packages as well for more than one individual. This is not a 50% off anything. This is something we would have brought to the forefront because people were asking for this. Oh, can't I sit down with you and have a one-on-one reading? Okay. Well, look at here now. So all of those who have been asking, contact me, Priest Isaac Institute at gmail.com, and we can have a proper one-on-one. So what you would do, you would send me the information before, and then I will give you your information, the links, whatever it is, and then you would press the link at the time that we set, and then you come on screen. I'll be there. We look at each other, or you and your family, and if it's half an hour, we take the half an hour. More than likely, we will give you more than half an hour. But that's just, as we said, Saturn is discipline and structure. So you got to have a discipline and a structure. But it doesn't mean it won't go more than half an hour, depending on the spirit. But again, that is the structure. So you pay for a half an hour, or you pay for an hour, you pay for a single one-on-one with me, or you do the family. That's not a problem. As you can see, the prices are there, ranging from $50 to $100. And of course, you'll get a good understanding. You will see for yourself where the planets and everything work when you were born, and I will give you the readings. And of course, we will have a human civilized conversation. But at the same time, I would encourage you get the booklet, because the booklet itself, that is something you can preserve. And at this moment, it's only $137.50. That is your natal chart booklet, what you see us going through. Now is the time for you to get that. The 50% discount is coming to an end on Monday or Tuesday it is. By the 1st of September, it will be over. By the 1st of September. So right now we are talking about the 28th of August, at least where I am. And we are dealing with, the 1st of September just being a few days from now. I would encourage you to take advantage. Now, before I go into the next reading, did you put your birthday family in the chat? Put it in the chat. I'm going to review everything. I'm going to make a list of everyone's Earth Day. And as much as we can, we will do programs like this. Look forward to more programs like this where we highlight your birthday and let you know exactly where and what was going on when you were born. I don't know why a person would not invest in themselves and get a proper reading, instead of just giving your date of birth and you reading it for the whole world. I mean, again, you don't have to give your name. Let me be clear. An anonymous name, whatever, that's not a problem. You will know who you are. But when you do the official natal chart booklet, we would prefer a proper identification. Like, for example, the next reading I have is from No Crosses. No crosses. I doubt your mother needs you. No crosses. It's a good gesture. We don't want no trials and crosses. And I get where you're coming from. Yes, but no crosses, I don't even know if you're a he or a she. But no crosses whenever you're ready for your natal chart reading. You got to give me the name mommy gave to you, or whatever it is that you would have evolved into as an official. So even that's not for me, for you. In the future, you may decide not to call yourself No Crosses anymore. But on your booklet is going to be no crosses. So I want a proper name, something you can work with and identify and people know, but this is the official person. So no crosses now was born the 23rd of January, 1989. Anybody out there was born in 1989? You see, it's not the year, you know. The date is the most important thing. But the reason why you want the year to, obviously, is to see where the other planets were, where the moon was, because the moon is not going to be in the same position. It's the sun that sticks in that position. The sun that is in the position, that is why it's a solar return. So if you're 25 years old, you are 25 years old according to the solar calendar. If it was a lunar calendar, you would have been uh, maybe I think a bit younger. Yes, with the lunar calendar. If it was a Uranus calendar, I think you would be maybe half a year old now. But you see, the point is that we're dealing with the solar calendar, the solar return, which makes sense. That's the center of the universe. So again, with understanding, all of this is important. And this is why I'm highlighting again, royal family, the rudiments of ancient astronomy. I want you to do me a favor. I'm going to take a next draw of the charts. The first video we played here because of the internet glitch. Pardon me again for that. So I'm going to give you a next video and just give me a few minutes to take a draw. Royal family, what I want you to observe here is this. The rudiments of ancient astronomy is a top standard course designed for the mature mind, but perfect for preteens to adults. As this poster says, to get a free sample or to enroll, email priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. I'm going to be giving you a free sample right now. I'm going to be giving you another chapter. This chapter is entitled History. And this is going to be going into the history of ancient astronomy. Let me repeat this, family. We have a course in our homeschool program, a very extensive course for the little ones dealing with astronomy. So this is why many ones may say, oh, that the astronomy course, the ancient astronomy course, I'm going to order it for my little baby. Now, again, I'm not telling you not to. It will be good for your little babies. But again, we have a specific astronomy set of classes within our homeschool program. I mean, the prices are similar. That would be much more beneficial to a young little baby. Take it from me. 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old. When it comes to the international homeschool program, we have a very extensive international homeschool program, family, that many of you overlook. I'm telling you the truth. You know, if you want your children to really, you hear how, you see what's going on here, you see the information we spit out. We have created packages, books, documentaries, DVDs, award-winning documentaries, I may add, courses, classes, family, so that you can get the information on different levels, especially for your young one. You got young ones, you got to keep in mind, you may not know me, you may not know your brother, but my heart is for my people, especially young ones. I'm very serious about the humble, be fed, naked, clothed, sick, nourished, age-protected, and infants cared for. No matter what you see or what you think, we're not here trying to reach to the top of the mountain and leave nobody behind. This is about kingdom building. And this is why we do what we do with the energy that we do it with, and the refusal to give up on any task we put our minds to. Minds is right. So again, royal family, I'm encouraging you to take advantage of the 50% offer that is officially sealing up on the 1st of September. It's all coming to an end. So this ancient astronomy course, which is just $100 now, will be $200 in the next few days. The natal chart booklet reading, the fullness, which is just $137 now and 50 cents, will be $275 in the next 2-3 days. So family, please take advantage of those offers. Invest in yourself, and I'm definitely looking forward to hearing from you. Now, what I want to do is to take a draw of my chalice. Would you allow me to do that? Come on, give your brother, a helping hand here. I'm going to take the draw of the chalice, and what you're going to do, you will just observe with me.
It is well accepted that civilization and humanity in general had its origins on the banks of the river Nile. From the Ignish, also referred to as Lucy, which is a combination of the remains found of this Australopithecus, to the Medu Neter, our classical writing and language, also called hieroglyphs. Ancient Africa has proven itself to be the origin of civilization. In Upper Kemet, also called Southern Egypt, at the Dendera temple complex inside the temple of Het Heru, also referred to as Hathor 2250 BCE, there is a bas relief on the ceiling depicting the observable stars, the accepted zodiac symbols, and a planetary alignment that occurs once every 1,000 years. The temple itself depicts well-known constellations such as Orion, which the ancient Africans referred to as Sahu, the resurrected Osiris, also Pisces, the two-fish, Taurus, the bull, Aries, the ram, and others. Unlike Greek astrology that depicts Gemini, Castor, and Pollux as two little boys, in ancient Africa, this constellation was seen as a man and a woman. Shu and Tefnut, also referred to as Hu and Sa. The Neter Nut can be seen on the walls and the ceilings of many of the Kemetic temples. Nut is represented as a woman who is symbolic of the visible sky. She is seen arched over while painted with the stars of the heavens. She swallows the sun every evening and releases it out of her womb every morning. Southern Kemet is also the home of the world's first erected astronomical site, older than Stonehenge. This 7,000 to 8,000 year old stone circle was designed to track the summer solstice and the arrival of the annual monsoon season. The megaliths are also arranged in such a way to allow the prediction of the seasons. In Mali, West Africa, lives a people called the Dogon. The Dogon, like the Bozo people, are said to be of Kemetic descent, and their astronomical lore goes back thousands of years to 3200 BCE. According to their traditions, the star Sirius has a companion star which is invisible to the human eye. This companion star has a 50-year elliptical orbit around the visible Sirius and is extremely heavy. It also rotates on its axis.
All right, family. And as I said, that's just one of the chapters within the whole scope of chapters directly dealing with the ancient astronomy course, basically the rudiments of ancient astronomy course. And the rudiments, it has approximately 15 chapters and some other additional bonuses. It's a real extensive program. Listen, family, I have to explain it to you in this way. Everyone that goes through the course, just like the natal chart reading, it almost never fails. They always come back and say, wow, I never expected all of this. This was much more than I paid for. Okay? Listen, you get, I just have to laugh when I say this, you get the classes daily here. And almost, every time someone enrolls into the, the astronomy course, yeah, I'm very thankful. And all praises to Rastafari, Holy Emmanuel, Selassie. Yeah, Rastafari. Almost every time, family. The astronomy course and the international homeschool program. Especially the homeschool program, I can almost bet you, although I don't gamble, I could almost bet you that before the end of 3 weeks, because the homeschool program goes like about 10 months, it's an academical year. The first part of the homeschool program is like about 10 months. You're getting information every day. Astronomy, African history, biology, general knowledge. Within 3 weeks, the parents always, for the most part, recontact me and say, my brother, I've already spent my money. Meaning that whatever they pay, which at this time is only $200, whatever they pay, they consider that the money done already. With what they got in the last 3 weeks alone, and how their children are looking at African history and talking about Marcus Garvey, because again, remember, I do it with my children. It's designed in a way to interact with young ones and designed in a way to bring joy to the little babies. So give thanks continually to the life giver and the keeper of life. And I'm talking about the international homeschool program. But my point is that the parents and even those who do the astronomy course, which is not that lengthy, the astronomy course will last you about 2 months, especially if you keep on it. But it's always like, wow, I didn't expect this. And I think you can see for yourself. That was just one chapter I showed you. I think you can see for yourself. You're dealing with a quality product that you would even like to share with your family, share with your friends. And if you're taking the astronomy course for yourself, yes, you should make your little ones see it as well. The graphics and the videography was done by a little one too. It wasn't done by me. It was done by my very son. So again, you got to involve the young ones. This is about kingdom building, Rastafari. We can't forget the little people as if it's all about us. See what happening to us? Let's think about them. We can't be so selfish. I find we selfish. But anyway, so where are we? Okay, now, so we're gonna seal up with No Crosses. No Crosses was born the 23rd of January, 1989. So let me ask you, Roy, family, No Crosses, you don't have no time here neither. Okay, fair enough. So family, as I said, how many of you would have already put your birthday in the chat? I will repeat, if you want me to do your, like what you see me do here today, just in the same way that you see me do it today, you can contact me. I would advise you send me an email. In that way, I would have your email address for other important information. And I find people that reach out to you. They make it their business to contact you the way that you say to contact you, not just putting it in the chat. I appreciate that too, you know. But I would prefer you reach out to myself via the email. And that is why I would take the preference of dealing with those who come through the email first. And I will come on the program again, and we will do more natal chart reading for you in the same way we would have done for Tessa, same way we would have done for Abdi, and what we're going to do now for no crosses. Now, if you don't want to send no email, you can still put it in the chat. And you don't have to put no name because your identity is next to it in the chat. We will just use that, whatever identity you put there. Or you could put it in the comment section if you're looking at this after it has premiered. And we will make a record of it. Trust me, we will have it there in our records and do our best. But obviously, the more we do these programs, it's going to be the more people will be sending and sending and sending. We may have a backlog going into years, but don't worry, we'll find a way to get it all done. But obviously, the best thing to do is what? Who can tell me the best thing? Order your natal chart booklet. All right, good. So this is going to be the sealing one for this evening, and we're going to deal with no crosses. So no crosses, again, you were born on the 7th of October. No, sorry. The 23rd of January, 1989. So no crosses if you decide to take your natal chart to a next level. The quick rundown I'm going to give for you now, you can get it in booklet form in this very same way, just like everyone else who desires to have a proper production. This is going to take me between 2 and 3 weeks to put together, because again, it's something that you got to put your mind into. Sometimes I might be doing a few at a time. It's not something that I can delegate as yet to anyone, you know. And obviously, when the time comes for me to delegate this to anyone to do or wants to do, I will still have to be the person to overlook it until it's really understood, because this is a science that we are teaching to other ones that are coming up. You know, obviously our young ones, our children have a good understanding of this science, but we still have more to learn. Okay, so crosses, no cross. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. No crosses, please. Oh my. No crosses. You will be getting your booklet like this if you desire to order your natal chart. All right. Now, no crosses. The 7th of October, I said crosses, eh? The 7th of October. Let me make sure I have this correct. No, I have this wrong. I keep saying the 7th of October. The 2nd of January, the 23rd of January, 1989. Very good. All right. Now, the 23rd of January, I was born in the month of January. And I am considered to be a Capricorn. You know that, right? I'm sure you're aware of that. Now, we have the 23rd of January. The sun is right here in the constellation of Capricorn. So no crosses. Your sun is right there no offense, right at the backside of the unicorn, Capricorn. This is the season of Capricorn. Now, after Capricorn is Aquarius. If I'm not mistaken, Aquarius is supposed to begin, if it's not the 23rd of January, I think it's the 23rd or the 24th. For sure, by the 24th of January, you should be in Aquarius, according to, I'm talking about modern day zodiac business, modern day astrology, the horrible school, the Astro-guide. I'm not talking about the reality. So, for example, let us just look at the 24th. This is important. Okay. Not a great difference, but slightly. Now, family, no crosses. I know you were not born on the 24th, you were born on the 23rd. And again, if a person was born on the 23rd, and the 23rd is the last day of Gemini, or is it the 21st, whichever one, the next day, to say, well, the next day, I was born 11 p.m., 11:58 p.m. the night when Capricorn came to an end, and my twin brother was born 12:01 the next morning, 3 minutes after, when Aquarius began. So I'm of the zodiac sign of Capricorn, and my twin brother, who was born 2 or 3 minutes after me, is of the sign of Aquarius, because I was born 2 minutes before midnight and he was born 1 minute after midnight. And you can see how nonsensical the thing gets, because that's what it is. That's how we deal with this stuff. It's impossible. That's foolishness. This is a science. That is why all of us were born, all of us were born in the time when the Pisces age met the Aquarius age. If you're not 72 years old yet, family, the sun has not even moved 1 degree in its 30-degree move from one age to another age, which will last 2,160 years. So nothing grand has happened in the movement of one age to the other age during your lifetime. Even if you're over 72, even if you're 144, that means the sun would have moved 2 degrees. That's a good stuff. That's good. Out of the 30 degrees, it has to move within a 2,160-year time frame from one age to the other age. So we are all of us, me, you, your mother, your father, your grandparents, we were all born in a time where we are feeding off of the energy of the Pisces age and the Aquarius age. It is not like the Aquarius age has begun like it began last year or 10 years ago, or the 12th month in 2012, December 21st, the Aquarius age began. No. That's not how it goes. We are feeding off of both, more so Pisces than Aquarius, but the Aquarius is strong enough for us to consider it. We are in that age, on that level. But do not negate the Pisces age as if, oh, well, the Pisces age done, and we're in the Aquarius age now. No. No, that's not how it goes. And the same thing can be said for even your zodiac sign from one day to the other day. Not because, again, you were born 1 minute before midnight and your twin sister came out 1 minute after midnight. That means you are Capricorn and she's an Aquarius, because that's what the zodiac stuff says, the Astro-guide in the newspaper, the horoscope. Real horror, eh? So I'm saying now that if you remember the previous class we did, we highlighted this central point, the 30 degrees that each constellation owns, the 30-degree celestial gate of energy that each constellation owns. The halfway mark will be equivalent to 15 degrees. It is when the sun passes that halfway mark, when it goes over the halfway mark and completes that, you consider in the astrological world that the sun has begun its movement towards the next sign. Okay, very interesting stuff here. Now, so I'm just showing you no crosses. I don't know if you're an astrological fan, fanatic, whatever. I'm just showing you that the sun is in Capricorn, and I know this is usually considered the time of the sign of Aquarius, but I would say you definitely have to consider Capricorn um, when it comes to your natal chart reading. Let us just see the moon. And let me be clear here. Again, when we do our natal chart reading, I don't really like stay on that point like too long. We hardly highlight that. We just give you the coordinates and tell you the constellation, and then I start to give you the reading. That's it. So the moon is in Leo. And speaking of reading as well, that's very important. So again, um, my good brother. So even Capricorn now, Capricorn is directly even related to Saturn as well. So Capricorn is a constellation that deals with discipline. Capricorn does deal with order. That's why people that are born in January at that time, you would you would hear them say that they are well disciplined and they are hard workers and all of that stuff. Yeah, and people tell me that all the time. Oh, you're a workaholic. I don't think I am, but I don't know myself. I definitely like to work. That's for sure. Um, very much so. What they call hard work, but we don't call it hard work. Effective work. Titenkara sira. That means strong work. We determine work. So yes, and in the 12 tribe of Israel aspect, the Naphtali figure is January, the color is green, and he speaketh good words as well. And so even my 12 tribe brethren, they always say, oh, that's why they had worked so hard. And because I'm born in January. But anyway, but Capricorn, the constellation Capricorn, it relates to that too, that law and discipline and a certain level of intelligence. Whether they say it's a goat or not, it's really a unicorn, at least from the age that I'm speaking of. And then at the same time, when you understand the whole science of this, the Capricorn as well, don't be afraid, everything is okay. uh, Give thanks, you know. Give thanks, we have the great, the grand Ethiopian Renaissance done, which is, you know, doing marvelous works in creating more electricity here in Ethiopia. Let me continue with the discussion here. So no crosses, the energy that you have from the sun, the qualities of the sun, the determination of the sun, the ambition, the leadership, all of these qualities that are in the sun, when you utilize the qualities with consciousness of where the sun is or was when you were born, and at your birthday, every year, you extract the energy from Capricorn. I'm Aquarius. Listen, hold on, brother. And I'm just, don't feel no way. Maybe you're not even saying that. I'm just, you know, that's how I do my thing. But just in case you say, no, brother, I'm Aquarius, you know, because I don't get along. I don't get along with those people that are those Pisces people at all. Yeah, I had a friend. Listen, hold on, listen, man. People have good attitudes and bad attitudes. Don't tell me about Pisces and Leo and none of that stuff. All of them good. We're not here looking at no negativity. Or everything here is potential and quality characteristics that we can all evolve into. And some of us naturally have it in us. We just need to work on it more. That's the point. Yeah. So you utilize your determination, your ambition, Yeah, your consciousness, and you would draw those qualities from who? Capricorn, the qualities of what? Discipline, the qualities of law, structure. The moon is in Leo. You utilize that, the emotional power, because emotional, when you have control over your emotion, Rasta, and the moon now, that's why it's feminine in many aspects. It still has a masculine aspect with Konsu, but the moon directly connects to emotion. And the moon is not only in Leo, the moon is covering the star known as Regulus, the brightest star in Leo. That's some serious energy there, no crosses. So use your emotional strength, your emotional concentration to even harness the power of Leo, which Leo again brings us back to the sun. Leo again brings us back to what you call Leo brings us back to determination. Leo brings us back to confidence, to conquer. Yeah. Now, this is the heights that we are dealing with. Let's look at Pluto. Now, I skipped all those other planets because we may overlook Pluto and Uranus and Neptune. Now, you see Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. They don't move that much. Remember, they're far away. So Pluto can literally almost determine a whole generation. So you see the planet Pluto is just here in between Libra and Virgo. I would more say it's more over Libra, pardon me. But the point is that Pluto is still going to be there the next year and the next year. Let me show you. For example, that's 1989. Okay, let's look at this way. 1988, see? That's where Pluto was. 1989, 1990, 1991, Pluto is still in Libra. So in the next couple of years, Pluto will come out of Libra and go closer to Scorpio. But again, Uranus and Neptune, very similar as well. You find them in a region of the sky for a very long time. So like in the 80s now, Pluto was in Virgo for a long time. All through the 80s, Pluto was basking in Virgo. So people that were born at that time, all of you, all of you. That's why when you talk about, oh, I don't deal with Scorpio people and I don't deal with this or that. Eh? When you were born with someone during the time, your time frame, because remember, Virgo has an extension. Eh? So does Aquarius. So Pluto going through the spirit of Virgo was for a very long time, almost like a decade. And the people who were born in that time, all of you, all would have shared that similar spirit when it comes to where your Pluto was at the time of your birth. So you all have something in common. People that were born in a specific time frame naturally have a connection when it comes to Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune because they're not moving as fast as the moon from going through two constellations in a day. Venus go through, not Venus, pardon me, Pluto would bust through one constellation in 6 years, 10 years. Retrograde, oh my, it's there for 20 years. Yeah, which is not a regular thing. That may happen every couple of 100 years. You see the science? So this is why, again, even no crosses, I'm encouraging you and everyone to take advantage of what we have to offer right now. You can do a one-on-one natal chart reading if you prefer. Um, half an hour or an hour. Pick the time, the date, and we sit and we do it. Or you can get your natal chart booklet, which again has a 50% discount, which is coming to a conclusion on the 1st of September. And of course, I will remind you again that the actual price of that, so you have a clarity of what we're saying, is only $275. I personally think that it's worth it. What you're getting that lasts you for a lifetime. So at the moment, the value of it is $137.50. That's the 50% off, $137.50 for your natal chart booklet. And by the 1st of September, that will come to a conclusion. Same thing can be said for your Rudiments of Astronomy course. Again, the Rudiments of Astronomy gives you a great understanding. You know, both of them go together. Sister Beulah says it. Sister Beulah says the two of them go together. They really do. Because when you have a good, that's why I preview some of the astronomy courses while I'm doing this. So you can get a better understanding of where we are, because some of us, we just jump into this theory of the sky and astrology and all of that. And we're not really acquainted with the academics at all, the hisab, the maths of it. So that is very important. So again, the rudiments of ancient astronomy, just in the same way, like you have the natal chart reading, is at 50%. Right now, it's only $99.99. So if you order this right now, $99.99, and I'm sure you know how to make all your payments. In the description below the video, you have the links to make all the payments, Royal Family, towards these products and services. And as I said, in the next 2 days, this price will double. Not really double, it will go, well, it will double according to the maths, but it's returning to its original price, and that it has been at 50% off. Give thanks to all of those who would have taken advantage, who would have invested in themselves, those who see, you know, the importance of edifying themselves and learning about themselves on another level. And as I said, quality information coming here to you. So again, email me, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com, and let me know that you're ready for your course. Again, even the information to make your payments, they're all in the link in the description below. The link is in the description below the video. Your Rudiments of Ancient Astronomy course and your natal chart booklet, both of them, the 50% off comes to an end. I think maybe when you're listening to this, it's like a day away before the 1st of September. And remember, you can also do your one-on-one natal chart, birth chart reading. This has nothing to do with 50% or anything. This is just you contacting me and letting me know that I want one of them one-on-one readings, my brother, me and my family. And yeah, the family package is a simple package. But remember, if you come with 100 people and you only pay for 1 hour, hey, it's up to you, eh? You just got to know what you're doing. Hey, do give thanks. What a beautiful program this was. I really full joy this one, must say. And I'm looking forward to it again. I like these programs. Looking forward to hearing from you. Those of you who would have put your information in the chat, those of you who would have put your information in the comments, give thanks again. Those of you who are sending your emails, give thanks to you for sure as well. Remember the list, because this list here, the 3 that I pulled tonight is just 3 from a list of more than 3 that I had. And I may have to find a way of going through the names or the dates or the different people much more quicker as such, because I would have spent almost like an hour on each person, I think, when I really look at it. And we didn't even really touch all of their planets and everything. But I think this session was more like a teaching session, trying to break in the mind into the understanding of ancient astronomy and exactly how it works. and how it's connected directly, spiritually and physically. So we could just do a program where we say, okay, the sun was in Capricorn and the moon was in Libra. Let me see now. Mercury was in Gemini and Venus was in Gemini too. And then let me see now. Blip, 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 blip. Mars was in Taurus. And then, no. Okay, Jamie, you have Uranus in Aries. Neptune was in Aries too, and so forth and so forth. All right, good. So that's your chart. Next, we could do it like that, which we may have to do it like that, especially if we have a long list that we need to deal with. And this is why you may opt to take the option of the one-on-one natal birth chart reading if you like it this way. Well, we can sit down one-on-one. It doesn't have to be televised. And we speak to each other, and I concentrate on you. And you ask questions, and yeah, that is up to you. Royal family, give thanks. Tiger's Temple, beautiful program. I really had a wonderful time here. Give thanks. You know your Bible and you do not know your astronomy. You better believe it. The knowledge of your Bible will become a mystery. Yeah. And of course, as always, it takes some realize to realize the real lies that are amongst us. Usually dedicated for the tiger's nest, but we just use it on the temple. Stay royal and loyal. Holy Manuelai, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari.